have hated seeing the cabin like this.
Oh, is that blood?
Thank you for talking to Celluloid Heroes. At the beginning of the film, your character has sort of a bit of a ritual to prepare herself. Did you have any rituals preparing yourself for particularly some of the evil parts of this film?
What is the ritual?
The dropping things into the well.
Oh, yeah. Did I have any rituals to... Well, no, not personally. But we were shooting on a Maori burial ground in New Zealand. And before we did our first shot, we had some Maori people come to set and, bless the ground so that we would be safe.
Okay, pretty intense.
Pretty ritual.
Yeah. So what was it like working with Fede on such kind of a big film, very, very highly anticipated?
Well, our relationship by nature for a horror film was him torturing me for 4 months. But I was really delightfully surprised when I watched the movie. I was really impressed. I didn't know what was going on when we were making it. I didn't know what it was going to look like. And he did a great job, and I really feel like it's a director's movie, and you walk away thinking, what a vision. And he was a first-time director, but he didn't feel like it. He just felt like he knew what he was doing, and he felt really wise. He's not an old guy, and he hasn't been doing this for so long, but I think something that was very smart of him, I guess, is he was really open to collaborating with everybody, and everyone's ideas he listened to and took into consideration, and oftentimes they were in the movie. Even just the makeup guy would come up with a shot and talk to Fede about it, and he would be like, okay, good idea, and it worked.
You said you were kind of a bit surprised at times sort of filming it. When you then went to see the film, did anything kind of surprise you despite having been there on set?
Yeah, a lot of just the I don't know how to describe it. The aesthetic of the film, this dark, grainy. I didn't know that that's what we were going to look like. It almost looks like a painting sometimes. Everyone they sort of blend in with the background. And I thought it was really beautiful, and a lot of the camera movements, I saw it from the outside, but I didn't know what it looked like through the lens, and I was impressed.
You shouldn't have touched anything from that basement.
Kunda. Strata. Montose. Kanda.
What was it like working with so many practical effects rather than CGI?
It makes it harder just because the shoot becomes longer, because you actually have to clean up the blood every time and set up the magic trick that we are going to do. But I think it was smart. I think it makes the movie more authentic. You can really feel that the things were happening and that the actors were responding to real time. And sometimes it was really cool to watch. The scene where I come in with the rifle towards the beginning and I scream and all the windows break. Every time I screamed, the windows break, which meant, again, they had to replace the windows between every take. But that was pretty cool, that cause and effect.
I released some evil.
It's a very gory film. No CGI. You really had to get actually covered with blood, have those contact lenses and everything. Did any of that kind of stay with you after the shoot?
Not after the shoot. Well, physically it did. Literally. I got an ear infection because of so much blood. It irritated my ear canal. And for weeks and weeks, months after we had finished shooting, I would clean my ears and there'd still be red on the Q-tip, which is revolting, sorry, but stuck with me.
Can you see yourself doing kind of more horror films now?
Well, we are going to do Evil Dead 2, so yeah.
This thing is attached to me as soul.
There's been some reports of people fainting, passing out in screenings of the film, which puts you in pretty high esteem sort of companies and big films. So what do you think is really kind of what's in common with your film and those classics that really scares people?
I don't know. I think it's always supernatural horror has that potential, right? Because there's no way to argue that that's not real or that's not really happening. So when supernatural is going on the screen, it tends to leak into the place, and whatever supernatural is going on there, suddenly you look people around and go like, maybe this is happening here too, right? Something special about supernatural horror, I guess, in general. And then of course it's that combination of tension, suspense, and then something completely brutal and crazy happening, and that's what I think makes for a good faint. I think I was trying to figure it out because I saw that online, a lot of people tweeting pictures of people being removed from the theater, and usually they pause the movie when that happened. They pause and somebody from the theater comes in and they take them out. And so I was always trying to figure out what's going on the screen. I think it's the cellar scene when Natalie goes down and Mia attacks Natalie. There's always a moment there. I think it's just keep going and going and going, and then crazy stuff happening. That's why I think that's one of the main scenes that makes people faint, which is awesome.
Of course, one of those classics that made people faint in this country was a video nasty, was the original Evil Dead. So what does that original film mean to you?
It meant a lot. I mean, for me, it was definitely the scariest movie ever when I watched it. I watched it back in 1990. I was 12. I was kind of done with all the Nightmares on Elm Street and Friday the 13th, and I really want to see a real scary movie. I thought they were already pretty much very funny. By the third one and fourth one, they were pretty funny. And I want to see a very hardcore horror movie. And I went to the video store, asked for it, and it gave me Evil Dead. And it was so disturbing and scary. And I watched it with a friend. We're two buddies trying to pretend we're not scared because we're men. We don't scare, but we're not scared. But we were like so scared out of our minds. So and it stood with me for such a long time. That it's a very special movie for me, right?
So how was it meeting Sam Raimi then?
Oh, it's amazing. It was amazing. I mean, I made a short back in 2009 called Panic Attack, and he loved it. So, like, I think 1 week after I uploaded on YouTube, I was talking with Sam on the phone about making a movie together, and eventually he offered me Evil Dead, and it was. I mean, I had such a vivid memory of the first time I saw it, and then when we started talking about it, he was so excited that I really. Not only did I remember the day I saw it, but also he felt that what I saw back then was exactly what he wanted to do. The scariest movie ever. Some people go and get like, I love it because it was funny. And he was never trying to make a funny movie. He was trying to make the scariest movie ever. And me as a 12-year-old kid, I saw that, the scariest, most disturbing film ever, right?
You are all going to die tonight.
You talked a bit about your work as a short film before. What kind of experience from that did you bring to the feature film?
From the experience of making
those short films before?
Oh, everything. I mean, when you're making shorts, you learn a lot about the craft of filmmaking, particularly when you come from Uruguay, where I'm from, where usually there's not much money in anything, and there's not much budget on the shorts. So usually when you do it, you have to learn every aspect of filmmaking. You have to probably end up doing a lot of things that a normal director wouldn't do. So I learned a lot about the craft of filmmaking, and making this movie, I think that really helped to come up with some good visual effects that we have in the film. Not CGI, but just the way we managed to create those illusions on camera. And a lot of the things that just come from the craft of making shorts and shorts what I have to do everything myself. So I think that was the best part that translated into this movie, I guess.
David. Please. You have to get me out of here.
Do you want to continue your film as the original continued?
We're writing the sequel right now, but it's not gonna be a remake of Evil Dead 2, right? It's just gonna be a sequel to this film, and we want to continue that story probably. And but we still have to agree with Sam and everybody where we're gonna go exactly with the sequel. But it's definitely gonna be one. I'll tell you that much.
We're gonna get you, not another piece. Time to go to sleep.